In the quiet hours before dawn, there is a unique stillness, a calmness that seems to cradle the world before the day begins. It's in these moments that the mind is most receptive, like a blank canvas awaiting its first stroke of color. This story begins in such an hour, with a young man named Kai, who stood at the edge of a great transformation. Kai was restless. His life had become a cacophony of worries, ambitions, regrets, and endless thoughts swirling like autumn leaves caught in a storm. Every day was a race, every moment a challenge, and every silence filled with the noise of what could have been or what must be done. He longed for clarity, for peace, for the ability to move forward unburdened by the weight of his own mind. One evening, Kai sought counsel from an old sage who lived atop a hill overlooking the village. The sage was known for his wisdom, though he spoke rarely, preferring the language of silence and observation. Kai climbed the winding path, his mind racing with questions and doubts, eager for answers. When he reached the sage's dwelling, he found the old man seated quietly, gazing at the horizon where the last light of day faded into night. Kai poured out his troubles, speaking of his ambitions, his failures, his fears, and the relentless chatter in his mind. He asked for advice, to be shown the way to success, to happiness, to fulfillment. The sage listened patiently, nodding every so often. When Kai finally stopped, the sage stood and beckoned him to follow. They walked to a small stream nearby, its waters flowing gently over smooth stones. The sage handed Kai a cup and instructed him to fill it from the stream. Kai did as he was told and returned with the cup brimming with clear water. The sage then said, "Pour the water into this bowl." Kai poured, and the bowl filled quickly. The sage then handed him a handful of small stones and said, "Add these to the bowl." Kai tried, but as he added stones, the water spilled over the rim, splashing onto the ground. The sage smiled, and in that simple demonstration, Kai saw the lesson. "Your mind," the sage began, "is like this bowl. When it is full, there is no room for anything new. If you try to add more thoughts, more worries, more ambitions, something will always spill out. To learn, to grow, to find peace, you must first empty your mind." Kai pondered this as they returned to the hut. The sage invited him to sit and meditate for a while, to let go of his thoughts, to simply breathe, and to be present in the moment. At first, Kai struggled. Thoughts kept intruding, pulling him away from the present. But with gentle guidance, he learned to observe his thoughts without judgment, to let them come and go like clouds drifting across the sky. As the days passed, Kai returned to the sage again and again. Each time, he practiced emptying his mind, releasing expectations, letting go of the need to control, and embracing the uncertainty of life. He discovered that in the emptiness, there was freedom. In the silence, there was wisdom. In the calm, there was strength. Kai's journey was not without obstacles. There were days when old habits resurfaced, when doubts clouded his heart and the noise returned. But each challenge became an opportunity to practice letting go, to trust the process, and to remember the lesson of the bowl and the stones. Over time, Kai noticed changes in himself. He became more patient, more open, more resilient. He found joy in simple moments, a sunrise, the laughter of children, the taste of fresh bread. He approached problems with a clear mind, finding solutions that had eluded him before. He listened more deeply, spoke more thoughtfully, and moved through life with a quiet confidence. One day, a friend came to Kai seeking advice, troubled by his own restless mind. Kai smiled and told him the story of the bowl and the stones. He shared what he had learned, that greatness does not come from filling your mind with endless thoughts and ambitions, but from emptying it, allowing space for new ideas, new perspectives, and new beginnings. The friend listened, and together they practiced the art of stillness, discovering the power that lies in letting go. This story is not just Kai's. It is the story of anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by the demands of life, who has searched for peace amid the storm of thoughts. It is a reminder that behind every challenge, every setback, and every triumph, there is a mind that can be either a prison or a sanctuary. To empty your mind is not to abandon your dreams or your responsibilities. It is to create space for clarity, for creativity, for purpose. It is to recognize that you are not defined by your thoughts, but by your ability to rise above them. It is to understand that true strength lies in surrender, in the willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. Imagine your mind as a garden. When it is overgrown with weeds, negative thoughts, worries, doubts, nothing beautiful can flourish. But when you clear the ground, nourish the soil, and plant seeds of intention, you create the conditions for growth, for abundance, for transformation. Every day offers a new opportunity to empty your mind, to pause, to breathe, to reflect. In these moments, you reconnect with your true self, with the wisdom that lies within. You become the master of your destiny, shaping your life not from a place of fear or scarcity, but from a place of possibility and hope. Remember, the journey to greatness begins not with accumulation, but with release. Not with striving, but with surrender. Not with noise, but with silence. So when the world feels overwhelming and your mind is crowded with thoughts, remember the lesson of Kai and the sage. Find a quiet place. Sit for a moment. Close your eyes. Let go of the worries, the plans, the regrets. Allow yourself to be empty, even if just for a breath. In that emptiness, you will find the space to create, to heal, to grow. And as you walk your own path, carry this wisdom with you. Share it with others. Teach them the power of an empty mind, the freedom to dream, to act, to live fully. For in the silence, in the stillness, in the emptiness, lies the potential for everything you seek. Your life is your story. Make it a tale worth telling, not by how much you gather, but by how much you let go. By the space you create for love, for joy, for purpose. By the peace you cultivate within. Empty your mind and let your spirit soar.